Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to King B's RNS podcast, where I go over the RNSs from the day, a bit of detail behind them, and what happened in the market. So first up, SED. Now this one is 80% plus down on all-time highs, but today, could it be the start of another recovery? So major order, electric vehicle drivetrains. Second order from the same Indian OEM, this time for £106,000. It's trying to break into the Indian market and it sees growth there. The SP is up 18% on the day. Next up, BHL. Now, they're 65% complete of the drilling. Typical grades for lithium in general across the market is 0.5% to 2.5%. Now, when you break down the RNS, they've had a 1.6% before this RNS. There's some good grades in there, 0.83, 1.03, but there's some grades there that might be in the cutoff. And there's 0.51, 0.32 and 0.5. So we need to really see those grades increase, or will they focus primarily on the high grade part of the drills? 4% down the day. Next up, EE. Another one, 99% down on all-time highs. Again, we talk a lot about entry in our group. And if you enter this one wrong, you could be 99% down. But it's 11% up on the day. 3 diamond holes drilled. Again, this is surface rock sampling. It sounds good. It's a good positive RNS and it's open at depth. All really good. But we need to see some more drilling and we need to see the results come back from drilling and lab results. Next up, ALK. Great to see some real positivity from the investors. We've been talking about feedstock a lot in our group. Looks like a bit of the risk is being reduced. And they're getting it in from an international trading house in Wogan. 20,000 tonnes are the first of 4 proposed trains, full production and work in 2026 on all their stuff going on here. Good for the UK, it seems. It's 2% up on the day, and it'll be featured in our deep dive later. Next up, CRCL, oil well spud, 5% up on the day. 88 Energy, they've secured a farm in Nambia. 10 structural closures identified. They've purchased some 2D seismic, but they're going to kind of do that next, purchase it, and then do that work in 2024. And then half to 2025, they're then going to look to do some work on the well. Next up, WSBN. Again, visual results. Good things being seen, but they do talk about depth and strike still to be determined. So we need to make sure that we wait for the results, which they think are in January 2024, and then take a look from there. Only 2% up on the day. Next up, Vast. Capstone reduced their position from 6% down to 4%. People can say they're out, but the RNS is what it is. For a long time, people have been talking about Capstone being sort of a cornerstone investor, not selling, but they're now selling in chunks. Is that a red flag? Again, it's not for us to decide. It's something to discuss and be part of a jigsaw about an investment decision. 5% down on the day. Next up, BCE. Good RNS here for BCE. Increased our reserves and estimates, and it provided a little operational update too. So they're saying there's 34 metres gross interval, 28 metres of oil, low case 42 metres of hydrocarbon. They're looking at commercial production expected from around November, which we are now. And then they're going to fund a third party to complete a CPR. And they're talking about now a possible development plan now, which is also exciting. Next up, Rock. So they cancelled the transaction with all their sort of sanctions going on with Russia. I think it's a good decision. I think they had to make that decision. And they're restored to AIM, which is great to see for shareholders. They're talking about they've done a lot of drilling while suspended, and they're looking for results soon. Next up and last up is IOG. I just want to say on behalf of us as a group, I'm really sorry for shareholders. It's a terrible situation, which could have gone far better. I think it's one of those ones we have to chalk up to experience, even though it doesn't make it any better. We've all been there and we've all had those ones that have gone wrong, and it makes us better investors for it. So even though today and the last few weeks has been tough, know that it will get better, it will make you better, and hopefully you all can recover from it. And if you need any help or support, you know where we are. Have a great evening, everyone. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.